Have you had enough of Robert Baker? The Monica Sementilli trial has been going on so much longer than what I ever anticipated, and today was actually day 33. But we're going to go back. I made one video of day one of Baker on the stand, and he looked over at Monica around 10 times. I actually think I missed just a few of them. I think we were closer to 15. However, we are now going through day 2 with Robert Baker and how many times that he looked over at Monica. And before you start, you should go ahead and make your guess in the comments below because it is outrageous. So I guess I'm giving you a little hint. It is outrageous compared to last week on the first day. Now, I had both of my daughters count out how many times. So I will not be putting the number up with each bell. So if at any point before it gets too far in, you want to make a guess, go for it. I will say at the end of the video how many times.
Did you ever tell any of them that when did you, and at some, can you tell us approximately some kind of a, okay, when did you first meet? Are you older than Mr. Austin? Did Mr. Austin, so he had come to the gym as well?
Right.
To the, did he have a birthday around that time? Well, let's use the 17. Okay, but a legitimate card.
Yes.
And how would he use your credit? He was that close to you?
Yes.
Had you on prior? Okay. And when did you first discuss with him?
I told him I wanted, I mean, he knew why.
How was he supposed to kill? Okay. What's the next thing? But would she tell you we're fine? So, okay. Then what? Yeah. And did you see him? Can you tell us?
Well.
Okay. Put a Band-Aid on? So you had her help get the rental car?
Yes.
All right. So you drove to a location. Then what'd you do next? What did you do next? Do you remember at all, Mr. Baker? You had been there. Let me back up. Did you have a plan? So describe how you tried to make it look like a...
He was still.
And where? Okay, did you get into the Porsche? You sit here right now, what that route? Okay. Do you get back? So what do you do there? And then what happened?
I'm going to apply, ladies and gentlemen.
The Versa?
Yes.
Okay. And how do you...
Yes.
Okay. That's why you use Enterprise. That, obviously, that fought. And what did you do with... Do you remember anything about a ticket?
Yes.
Non-responsive.
It is.
Move to...
Yes.
By Paula?
Yes.
And how do you get from the Enterprise... Okay, so now we're on the next day. Tuesday?
Right. Yes.
Why did you go with them to her house?
I'm going to object that it seems facts and non-evidence.
You never had three-way conversations with him and Mr.
She was upset.
Did you ever in any way tell her... Look, you were in prison or in jail.
It was one of my sources.
Now...
We never discussed it because I mean, it's been a long, long time.
Well, rather than do that, it would take... And he told the judge. Now, after that...
Counsel's testifying.
His name.
Prove it.
Yeah,
Yes.
meeting.
That's how a lot of this.
In fact, when you told us... So after Mr. Austin had... Thank you, Your Honor, I'm nothing further.
Leave a man for.
The indictment charges you with, again, this has been...
The admonition applies.
Questions about the letter. Okay. Well, then let me rephrase then. Did you engage you as well?
Objection, that's argument.
Sustained.
Clarifying that. Now, you also told this jury that, all right, did you tell defense counsel when you were, you mean 2 days ago this week?
Or whenever you're trying to say that.
Oh, no, I'm going to tell you exactly, and I'm going to ask you.
Right there. I see counsel. It's counsel, not evidence.
You testified about this yesterday.
Lit juror.
I see. Do you recall listening to an go away, right?
Oh, after
As formed its argument.
So if you had told Rob,
that's all that was. I don't remember her.
so after the murder,
I was waiting for it.
I'm counting in my head and I'm bad at math. I only do statistics.
So many of us in the live chat were talking about how often he just happened to look over at her, and that was 104 times. And I'm sure I probably missed a time or two. He was very hard to see some of these times. It would be very quick, which obviously makes sense. He doesn't want to be looking at her looking at him, showing any signs of a relationship. They're both trying to get her out of prison. I think they're doing a very bad job. Once I'm completely settled and no longer frustrated with how today's trial went, I will be doing the day 3 of Robert being on the stand and counting out then how many times he looked at her. But it is crazy the difference that 10 to 15 to 104. Someone in the live chat said it best, and that is the longer that Robert was on the stand, more noticeable that Monica changed every single day. She no longer wore her fake frown with her eyebrows pursed together. It looked so unnatural, and she basically kept that same face through the entire trial. And that alone annoyed me, reminded me of Sarah Boone. But even so, she did that on day 1 of Robert being on the stand. Day 2 was a lot less, and today it was gone completely. She had a normal resting face, not trying overly to show that she was upset, and this huge frown that I don't even know how she was able to keep that on her face through this entire 33-day trial so far. But man, she really committed to it, and it looked out of place. It looked wrong. Just my opinion. But I will be back on here bright and early in the morning. We're going to go over some other trials that we're watching, and we will be back at 12:30 my time to watch the trial again.